Hi folks, Ron from RJM Music here once again. Today's video is going to show us how we use a Mastermind GT MIDI controller to control a TC Electronic G Major 2. The G Major 2 is a pretty popular effects processor for sounding pretty darn good and doing a lot for its price tag. And we find it's a good complement to our rack gizmo and effect gizmo audio loop switchers. And so you can use a rack or an effect gizmo to handle your overdrive pedals and your fuzz pedals and keep that all in the analog domain, and then use the G Major to do the stuff that digital is particularly good at, which is the choruses, delays, reverbs, etc. And the G Major has a fair amount of MIDI controllability, and so it works reasonably well with the Mastermind GT. There are a few things you have to do first to get the two working together, and so we're going to show you how that goes here. So, as always, we press the two buttons here and go into Setup Devices. This is once again a factory initialized Mastermind GT. And we're going to take this rack gizmo and we'll just convert it to a TC Electronic G Major 2. Right now we have support for the G Major and G Major 2, and G4 should be coming shortly. Of course, you could always keep your rack gizmo in here and add the G Major to it alongside it, but for simplicity we're just going to have one device in this system. So now we've set this up, we want to set the default buttons, which if you've seen the earlier videos, what this does is it takes sort of a default list of buttons that we've defined that control the different features of the G Major 2, such as the compressor, chorus block, delay, reverb, and it assigns those automatically to buttons on the Mastermind GT, so you don't have to go and type in a lot of parameters. And it's asking us which of the 16 button pages we want to assign those buttons to, and we're going to assign it to page 1. Okay, that's done. Next, we'll also set the default pedals, the expression pedals, so that they're all set up to control the G Major as well. So we can get out of the setup mode now, and we go through the initialization process to set up all the preset numbering so that each preset on the Mastermind GT will call up a corresponding preset on the G Major 2. Okay, now that that's done, you can now see that we've got all the controllable features, including the tuner mute, EQ, chorus pitch, reverb, the two external switching relays for controlling amp channel changes, preset boost, and the tap tempo. And so now we need to go over to the G Major and make the two talk to each other. So here we have our G Major 2, and what we need to do is get in here and assign some continuous controller numbers to the parameters. Unfortunately, the G Major 2 out of the box doesn't have any controller numbers assigned to many of the parameters, and so we need to go through their learning process to make sure that the G Major understands what the Mastermind GT is sending it. And to do this, you go into the mod menu, and there's a whole bunch of parameters here. The first ones are mod 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and those are typically used for expression pedal assignment. Right now we're going to just assign the instant access buttons for turning effects on and off. And so as we go down this list here, we see here's one that's tap tempo, and this one is pre-assigned to CC number 80, so we just leave that alone. That one will just work. The GT is set up for the same number. We've got a bypass all parameter. The tuner mute parameter is also pre-assigned. We've got a few input level, output level, and those ones we're going to skip for now. And now we get into the things that we want to control with instant access buttons. And this one is preset boost. And so you see that it says off. What we do is we turn this first knob over here one click to the right, and it says learn. And we push the knob in, and it says learning. And all I do is go over here to the Mastermind GT and press the preset button, or the preset boost button, once. And now it's assigned it to CC85, which is what the Mastermind GT has was preset to do. And so we can go down to the next one. This is another output level. These are the relay control relay control parameters for controlling your amp channels, and we can assign those to buttons as well. And same thing, turn it one click to learn, press the button, and then press the Relay 1 button, and now that's CC86. And we can continue these. Here's Relay 2, and again CC87. And the important thing is we're not typing in these numbers. The Mastermind GT is preset to send them, and we're just teaching the G major which number should be controlling each function. And so now we can go through this and continue the process for all the other ones: compressor, chorus, delay, reverb, etc. There are a few more that are pre-assigned. I believe the delay and reverb are some of those, and so for those we just leave them alone, but all the other ones we go through the same learning process. Okay, and that takes care of our instant access buttons, and now we want to do the expression pedals. As I said earlier, mod 1 through mod 4 parameters can be used to control different parameters in your presets. And so what we can do here, we're looking at mod 1, and by default it's set up to be controlled by an expression pedal plugged directly into the G major. And what we want to do is we want to have it controlled by a MIDI expression pedal. And so for this one we're set to pedal here. Let's go one click to the left, and that's where learn is. And again we hit the button, and then all I have to do is move my expression pedal here, and you can see that now it's assigned to CC number 10, and this pedal will now control anything that's assigned to mod 1 in each preset. Okay, and that's all you need to do to get the G major working with the Mastermind GT. You'll be able to call up any preset from the G major too, and individually turn off individual effects blocks using the instant access buttons, and of course you can have expression pedal control as well. There's one other cool feature of the G major and the G major 2, and that's a remote tuner display, and the Mastermind GT supports that. So you can be at the controller and viewing the tuner information on the screen without having to look back at your rack and see the small display to figure out whether you're in tune or not. And so there is one parameter you need to change to get this to work, and that's in the global section. You hit the global button and you move down here with the down button, and you need to find send tuner. And right now it's set to off. We're just going to turn the knob, click to the right, and we're going to now send tuner on. And so now it's sending its tuner information by MIDI to the Mastermind GT. One thing that's important with this also is that you need to have 2 MIDI cables connected between the G major and the Mastermind GT. The G major does not support bidirectional MIDI, and so you need a cable from the GT's output to the G major's input, and another one from the GT's input to the G major's output to get this tuner feature working. Everything else will work with a single cable, but the tuner display you have to have 2. Okay, and demonstrating this tuner, we're just showing the standard Mastermind GT display, and all we have to do is hit the tuner mute button, which is in the upper left corner, at least in the default configuration. And the first thing that happens is that it mutes the output of the G major so you can tune silently. You can see that it's got a question mark on the screen here asking for us to play a note so it knows what we're doing. And so if I play my E here, this is showing me that I got that I'm flat, and so I just kind of crank it up a little bit until we get centered. And then, just same thing for the other strings. Works pretty much like any other tuner. This one's a little sharp, or a lot sharp, and get that centered. There we are. There's a D. Anyway, so you see how this works, and currently this feature is supported on the Axe-Fx, all the models of the Axe-Fx, the G major and the G major 2. The G-Force supports that as well, so we should be supporting it on the GT. And so that's the tuner display. And that is all we have to show you for today. Hopefully we'll have another video for you in just a few more days. We have a lot more features to show you. Thanks.